Hey there, and welcome. You know that little pop-up survey you get after pretty much every single purchase or phone call? Yeah, it can feel a little annoying, I get it. But today, we're going to crack open why that feedback is so much more than just a pop-up. It's actually the secret code to creating true customer loyalty. I mean, we've all been there, right? You buy a coffee, boom, there's an email. You call customer service, you get a text asking how it went. You just browse a website, and a little survey slides into view. This isn't random, though. This obsession is a really critical part of how modern business works. So, why does your opinion matter so much? Well, because in a world that is just jam-packed with choices, trust is really the only currency that counts. And when that trust gets broken, well, the consequences are huge. Feedback is the number one tool companies have to build and protect that trust. 71%. Just let that number sink in. That is how many customers will just walk away and probably never come back if their trust is broken. This one stat shows you the massive financial risk of not listening. This isn't about being nice, it's literally about survival. And that's why feedback is so much more than data points on a spreadsheet. It's a conversation. It's the bridge that connects you, the customer, with the company. When they actually listen and act on what you say, they're showing you they value the relationship. And that, right there, is how trust gets built. Okay, so we know why companies are so laser-focused on trust. But what are they actually trying to figure out when they send you that survey? Let's decode the 3 most common metrics you're going to see out there in the wild. First up, we've got the big one, Net Promoter Score, or NPS. This one's all about measuring the big picture. Are you a fan? Are you kind of meh about the whole thing? Or are you actively telling your friends to stay away? You have absolutely seen this question. Your answer sorts you into one of 3 buckets. If you give a 9 or a 10, you're a promoter. You're a loyal enthusiast. 7s and 8s are called passives. They're satisfied, but they're not really loyal. And anything from 0 to 6, that makes you a detractor, an unhappy customer who could actually damage the brand. Next up is the Customer Effort Score, or CES. Now, this measures something totally different, but just as important: friction. It's not about how much you like a company, it's about how easy they are to do business with. A high score here is exactly what you want, because it means low effort for the customer. And think about it, the more hoops you have to jump through to solve a simple problem, the less likely you are to ever come back. Friction is the absolute enemy of loyalty. And finally, there's product market fit, or PMF. This one is less about a single interaction and more about, well, the product's entire reason for being. It asks a really simple but profound question. If this thing disappeared tomorrow, would anybody actually care? This question, which was pioneered by entrepreneur Sean Ellis, is specifically designed to find your most passionate core users. What he found was that the answers to this one question could be an incredibly powerful predictor of a startup's future success. And his research uncovered a kind of magic number, 40%. If more than 40% of your users answer very disappointed, that is a huge signal that you've built something people truly need and value. You've got product market fit. Anything less than that, and you've probably still got some work to do. But here's the thing, getting a great score isn't the finish line. It's actually the starting gun. The truly great companies, the ones we all admire, know that this data is just the beginning. So what do they do with it to build that fanatical loyalty? Every single interaction, every single touch point with a customer becomes a choice. You can create what's called a moment of misery, a frustrating, annoying experience. Or you can aim higher and create a moment of magic, an experience that's consistently and predictably better than average, making that customer feel seen and valued. And this really gets to the core difference between satisfaction and loyalty. See, satisfaction is just a rating. It's transactional. It means you met the bare minimum. But loyalty is an emotion. A satisfied customer will leave you for a better price in a heartbeat. A loyal customer sticks around because they have an emotional connection, a real relationship built on trust and those moments of magic. So, how in the world do you build that kind of emotional connection? Well, here's the secret. It doesn't actually start with the customer, it starts with your employees. The companies that create the most loyal customers are always the ones that create the most loyal and empowered employees first. So how do you create the best place to work? It's not about vague mission statements on a poster. No, it's about giving your employees real,
tangible tools to go out and create amazement, and companies like Ace Hardware have absolutely mastered this.
Take this idea, the $5 lifeboat. It's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. And it's not actually about the $5. It's about empowering your frontline staff to solve a problem right there on the spot without having to go ask a manager for permission. The real message it sends to the employee is, I trust you. And that trust gets passed directly on to the customer. Or how about this rule? 1 to say yes, 2 to say no. This simple policy just completely flips the script on customer service. It makes yes the default. It encourages creative problem solving and makes saying no a rare, deliberate, and collaborative decision, instead of just being the easy way out. Now, think about the phrases that do the exact opposite, the ones that we have all heard a million times. They are loyalty killers. Every single one is a verbal roadblock. It passes the buck, it creates more work for the customer, and it basically screams that the employee is powerless. This is the antithesis of a helpful, empowered culture. So, we've connected all the dots here. We've gone from the why of feedback to the what of all these metrics, and finally to the how of building a powerful culture. And it all leads to one place, creating fiercely loyal customers who not only stay with you, but they become your biggest advocates. And if you need one last piece of jaw-dropping data to tie this all together, just look at this. A study by Gartner found that 96% of customers who have a high-effort experience report being disloyal. 96%! That's almost everybody. Compare that to just 9% for low-effort experiences. The path to loyalty is paved with making things easy. And that leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. Don't just aim to satisfy your customers. Don't even just aim to be helpful. The ultimate goal is to deliver a level of service so consistently amazing, so effortless, that you actually raise your customers' expectations for every other business they deal with. That is when you know you've gone from getting feedback to creating fanatics.